is the one and only Toki Tamaru, and he might have the most technical striking in all of combat sports right now. Great southpaw, a lot of Tenshin Nasukawa to his game. So we're going to break down his training, his shadowboxing, his bag work, and his pad work. He's starting with a little warm-up flow in his shadowboxing, but what you'll see is he's putting little defensive movements in here and there, the very basic combinations to warm up. When you're training as hard as these people are, it takes a little while to warm up. There he's doubling up on the right hand. I'll always point that out. And watch when he pivoted out to the right. That's like a southpaw basic, pivoting out to the right. You're going to pivot away from your opponent's power. It's very important to do as he did. Let's bring it back a step. To do as he did and add that little cover, a little protection as you pivot. There. Adds that little bit of cover and protection as he's pivoting. So many times when I'm teaching people to pivot, they'll stick their chin out from the outside of the shoulder, the hand will drop, and they're moving towards a looping shot on that side. You need to be covered against it, because if you get hit by it, you'll probably get seated on your butt because it's going to have a lot of power and you're moving into it. Let's move on to some bag work. Here, he's using this jab into left kick. See how he skips his back leg in? He doesn't leave his back leg behind when he's throwing his jab to kick. Again, he's at a warm-up rhythm, so he's just tapping it away, getting the synovial fluid or other physiological things flowing. And there, see how he throws that jab? That's like a point-scoring jab where he'll step his foot in and then step it out. He doesn't bring his back leg with him the same way he would as if he's throwing a 1-2 like that. There he sneaks his back leg in with the 1-2. He throws a left low kick and 2 phases off of that, always bringing the leg back where it came from before throwing the hook crosses, cross hooks. In that case, it was a low kick into cross, then hook. Mixing the levels on the jab. Not overcommitting on the jab. If you're a southpaw, generally, you don't want to be overcommitted on the jab. Jabbing and hooking and using the body. It's all basic stuff. Again, he skips his back leg in, disguising it with the jab when he throws that jab into left body kick. There is Padman here. Is throwing that left hook back. A common shot, especially against a lot of textbook kickboxers. They'll feel a touch on their gloves. They'll feel a touch on the top of the head. And like a switch, they'll throw that left hook back. So very important. As he throws that jab, that hand comes away from his chin. So he's just getting used to that defense. And there, when he's throwing a few more shots and he's in a bit closer, he's practicing his catch and counter. More likely, you'll have to use that hand defense. If you've committed, you've come in a little bit closer, you'll have to use that hand defense rather than relying on movement. Because as you pull out, you might get caught by the left hook on the end of it because you're already that close from stepping in with the combination. There he's throwing a jab, hook, uppercut. See how he's using like a tap, tap, bang on that rhythm? He wasn't going super, super hard on each shot. These 2 right-handed shots, the jab and the hook. There he's loading it a little bit more. He's doing it in isolation. But when he uses it to lead to the uppercut, it's more like a tap, tap, bang. It's harder to defend when there's different shots and different intensities and speeds on these shots rather than bang, bang, bang. And there he's using that catch again. He's explaining something here. I really wish I knew what he was saying. He's going to explain something to one of these younger fighters. I can't read kanji. Unfortunately, no matter how many Yakuza games I play with the Japanese audio on. There he's using his jab and tapping the hook. He's explaining something about the backhand here. I really wish I knew what he was saying. But we'll get on to Toki Tamaru holding a little bit of pads. There he's holding a jab and a jab to the body and across. And again, he's getting the guy used to defending against that right side as the left hand comes away. Generally, your left hand comes away from your chin to throw the punch. The right hand is what they're going to throw back. So he's getting him used to that with the combination. And he's teaching him just basic footwork, basic pivots, pivoting out to the right side. That's going to get you a really dominant angle in an orthodox matchup. And he's just telling him to move with that right foot first if he's moving the right. Here, when you see the repeated kicks, a lot of Japanese fighters, it doesn't look as aesthetic as a lot of Thai fighters. So a lot of the time they're throwing this kick up at a 45-degree angle, which, it doesn't look as pretty on the pads. Remember there was that whole left kick beef between Haggerty and Takeru, and Haggerty's is a much nicer looking left kick and makes a much nicer crack on the pads, and I'm sure if they had some arbitrary UFC Performance Institute power cube, Haggerty's would have more power in it. But the Japanese kick is very flicky. It comes up under the elbow a lot of the time rather than bashing into the forearm, where in Thai that's scoring and it's just an attritive kick. Now he's throwing that 1-2. And as he throws his left hand, his Padman's just getting him used to that right hand coming back. Padmen, good Padmen, should throw back, should make it a bit tricky, or else you may as well just be on the bag. There, jab into low kick, skipping his back leg in. If he just takes that big step out with his jab and then tries to throw that left kick straight away, it's going to be taking a lot more flexibility. It's going to be slower because that leg's going to be way further behind. There, he's just using that jab. That mix between the sting and jab, where he'll just step his foot in and out, or bringing his foot in to lead with to follow up with the left straight and left kick. Here's a bit of a longer combination there. Let's go back a little bit so we can see this combination a few times. Boom. There's that jab we were on about. Jab into inside kick. Always getting used to recovering with shots here. And he's going jab outside, cross hook, and left kick. Not any particular shot really dug into apart from that last left kick at the end. A lot of setup shots. Boom, 1-2. Getting used to that right hand coming back. Getting used to defending with multiple ways as well. Pulls, foot movements, little pivots. Really, really nice bit of defense there. Padman throwing back in combination. But look, he pulls back from that jab. He throws a 1-2, catch, roll, catch, and then pivots off. So he's using his foot movement at the end to defend, because it is just chance and odds. The more you're just staying in one spot, trying to block and slip every shot, the more chance things are going to get through. You're going to have to angle off or clinch or throw back at some point. Touching the jab. Again, that tap, tap, bang rhythm when he's using the doubling up, the double action on the lead hand. Hook to the head, cross to the body, hook to the head again. Boom. And then getting used to covering that left hook again. Using the slips. And then he's going to finish with some bag work where he's putting a bit more work into it. You see a lot of left kick, return to stance, and then firing straight off. Really important, because in kickboxing, well, in MMA, especially in kickboxing, because people keep this rhythm a lot closer in these 3-minute rounds. As soon as you land a kick, even if it's flush, unless it's knocked them way off balance, people will throw back. So you want to be able to get back to your stance and throw back, intercept, interrupt their counters. Boom. He's using that right arm frame as well on the bag. It's kind of measuring his distance, but it's kind of defense as well. It keeps that shoulder protecting his chin. So we see this when he's throwing his right kick. Keeps that shoulder protecting his chin, keeps a potential opponent off balance, and it just makes this barrier where it's harder for people to get in, especially considering Toki Tamaru likes to keep his distance, and here he's just digging in shots a little bit more solid, moving into the knee, and there we go. Session finished by the looks of it. Maybe he gets 30 more seconds of something, but what we saw there in the bag, a lot of landing the foot, bringing the foot exactly back where it came from, not throwing the left kick and then just letting it fly anywhere. Throwing the left kick, bringing it back down to the floor where it came from, so he can spring into his next combination. And they'll still double up on the same side. It wasn't just left, right all the time. Still little hand manipulations and frames. These are kind of built into his bag work to manipulate the movement of the bag and its defense as well. Instead of just throwing left, right, and getting open up in the middle. If he was throwing loads of hooks, there's a lot of left kicks, right hook into left kick. Generally, classic combination, the right hook loads your body and your hips for the left kick. The right hook as well, even if it just hits a guard, it'll manipulate their weight and force them to move into your left kick if you're the southpaw. Or even from orthodox, it'll just take a little bit more time because you'll have to step or move that lead leg. There. He's getting a water break on top of this. It's probably a Japanese gym that's on the 23rd floor of some random Millennium Tower building. It's like you're playing a long battle in a Yakuza game, and then you're just flowing through, and you've got another group to fight on a random floor, and you haven't got enough stamina and X because you didn't know it was going to be the final battle of the level. In the background there, we had someone practicing countering that open side kick with a cross to the body. Very nice. Can't reach the head, counter it with the body. I need a better recorder app where I can do different lines and different slow-mos. I need some better tech on this thing. But yeah, open side body kick block, returning with the cross. The Toki's just doing the very light cooldown shadowboxing. He's doing that shadowboxing with the kick. Kicking in shadowboxing is very important. A lot of people just want to go straight into blasting the bag and blasting pads with their kicks because the bag or the pad catches you. But this is very important. He's doing it in the way you see a lot more Japanese people do in the shadowboxer kicks, where they'll flick it out and then retract it and use the control of the leg. You tend to see a lot more Thai-based fighters will fully swing through on the kick and then practice a recovery, or just fully turn around. If you watch Giorgio Petrosian shadowboxer like a Superbon, they might fully spin around when they throw the body kicks. So, any more J-kick, Muay Thai, MMA fighters, any training footage you want me to break down, give me a little suggestion in the comments. Give it a like, give it a follow if you like Japanese brain damage and other countries. Check out the Patreon if you want to support it. Use code HART10 at RevGear. Bosh.